All right. We've got about an hour, from what I understand, before the servers go down. So we're going to take a moment and try to get through this. All right. So the next quest, we're just going to jump right into it here, is not that one. There we go.
Researchers led by my friend Dr. Bashir have isolated several fascinating aspects of Herc biology. I'm told this data provides insight on their native environment, specifically a metallic planetoid orbiting a pulsar within a nebula. There's one system that meets these requirements, Havas Kul in the Gamma Quadrant. I'm going there to investigate along with Captain Kira in the Defiant. Dr. Bashir will accompany us as well. His insight will be critical to the mission's success. The doctor believes we'll find what we need to end this conflict on Havas Kul. If he's right, and he often is, I'm willing to travel to the heart of enemy territory. Won't you join us?
Well, okay. So first of all, just showing off how stupidly big this ship is compared to the DS9. Second of all, I don't know what else to add to that, really. I know the Borg are go big or go home, but this is ridiculous. Let's get on a real spaceship, shall we? Okay. Oh, hang on. I need to purge the question bot because someone put a very stupid question in here. There we go. It's okay. I tolerate it, as I tolerate all such things. Although I actually had one of my friends ask about you, Mr. Red. Well, you said that the best quest in the game deserves 2 negatives to story, and his question was very simple. What are you smoking? I had to explain that you're the kind of person who regularly says things you don't actually mean as a form of social coping mechanism. Because he was actually watching part of last night's vid. Hi, Hazardous. Hey, Tara. At least get through one of these before the server goes down.
I have to say, the survey reports on this system really don't do it justice. A nebula, a pulsar, dark energy, and the Herc homeworld.
All the SNES games, Blade
Nor I. Isn't that strange? One would think they'd place a heavy guard on their home system. How peculiar. Let's use this opportunity to look around. Quietly, of course.
And, you know, other early console things. I'm not sure there's any 90s PC games I want to play. There's probably at least a couple. But I can't think of any just off the top of my head.
We're reading a number of interesting phenomena, despite interference from the nebula. Let's see. Plethora of heavy metallic compounds, and a hotbed of tetryon and thermobaric energy throughout the nebula.
There's a moon nearby. Preliminary scans aren't showing much, but it's just the kind of place the Herc could be using to hide a base. Or a fleet. I'd like to take a closer look. The pulsar's throwing off a lot of
I
hazardous
don't like
energy.
this.
Scans are showing a lot of bare rock.
Most
but no
astute,
metals or
Captain.
compounds.
Let's make the appropriate
It's a
shield
lot like-
adjustments.
Almost hit ignore there as sheer habit until I read Darth Tyron there. Just pure habit. I don't know why you can't get your science officer, by the way. That sounds kind of strange.
Like it's being completely stripped of anything remotely useful? The calling card of the Herc, if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps we should send down a probe, just to be absolutely sure. There could be some Herc down there, hidden by the nebula's effect on our sensors.
You want specifics? Okay, hang on, let me turn to my right and look at all the SNES games in there. Zelda LTTP, that would be fun. We've got... That's Chrono Trigger. I can't see most of those. They're on their sides. Damn it. Yoshi's Island, that'd be a fun one. Someone asked if I wanted to play PS1 games. Not really. I know this sounds harsh, but I'm not actually a big fan of the N64 or the PS1. There are exceptions, but they're exceptions. So I wouldn't mind reviewing, Star Fox 64 and Paper Mario, just as I wouldn't mind reviewing Final Fantasy 7 through 9, and I would say Mega Man X4, but we already did that, right? I didn't really get into the early 3D thing. Because it sucked. I don't know what else to say about that. Early 3D sucked. So many people were reinventing the wheel, and so most of the PS1 and the N64 library sucked and hasn't aged particularly well.
It's barely Class D. No metals, complex compounds, liquids, or atmosphere.
The interior is a complex maze of tunnels. Thousands of them.
This matches Herc patterns we've seen elsewhere. They've been here.
The probe is online and transmitting. Our science teams are taking a close look at the incoming data, but it doesn't look terribly promising. Shall we forge on? There's a lovely planet nearby, no doubt filled with a bounty of toxic rocks and metallic salts.
See, part of the problem is I don't have that Jesse Ward. I mean, I don't have that in general. The only thing I would have had nostalgia for is the NES, which is what I had when I was growing up. And most NES games suck, because of the exact same reason, ironically. They were figuring stuff out. The SNES was in a sweet spot, because most
Entering
people
scanning range now.
knew what they were doing by the SNES era, so SNES tends to have a higher percentage of great games. Then the board got reset with the PlayStation 1, everyone had to relearn anything. By the time we get to the PS2 and the GameCube, great game percentage starts going up again.
These astronomic readings are strange. The planet has a highly eccentric orbit. Looks like it collects matter from the nebula as it sweeps around the pulsar, all while being bombarded with radiation. Definitely not habitable by most standards, though it's not quite demon class. An orbital period of several thousand years. That explains the Herc life cycle. They must hibernate while the planet is at the far range of its orbit. This orbit coincides with the previous emergences of the Herc. The 1,000-year cycle explains why they appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly.
We're reading complex structures here, along with power systems and technology. This could be a base of operations for the Herc. It appears to be deserted. Why don't we take a look around? This could be a prime opportunity.
Let's meet on the Defiant. We'll need to make some preparations before we send an away team down there.
Oh, I don't mind, Mr. Ed. I honestly just kind of ignore those kind of comments. You do what you gotta do. We all have our social tics. Now, if you want to fix that for yourself, for you, that's up to you. So, I'm trying to think if there's any PC game from the 90s I'd like to review. There was one, but I had to ban it because I couldn't get it into operational format. Or I say ban, I had to veto it. That would be Civilization 2. Maybe Master of Orion 2. See where the other original 4X came. StarCraft does qualify. Absolutely. Someday I'd like to review Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2. Knowing what I'm getting into in both cases. since I'm familiar with them.
I've sent a team down to establish a secure zone. They're ready for you, but you'll want to put on an EV suit before you beam down. Once you're suited up, we'll beam you down to the secure zone. It's just below the planet's surface in a large cavern area.
Command and Conquer's a weird one, because I would have to veto most of the Command and Conquers. And have. But CNC 1 has a remaster, so that one's kind of slid into the rug. So we can actually review. It's on the list, so we can do CNC remastered. And then we've got the Red Alert series, which has kind of the same problems. Like, you ever try to get Red Alert 2 working on a modern system? Because I have. So the earliest of those I could play is Red Alert 3. So we've got CNC 1, which got a remaster, CNC 3, which is much more modern, and CNC Red Alert 3. So in short, no. What happened to get the CNC games vetoed? They're old PC games. That's it. Unplayable or unstreamable or unobtainable. That's kind of it. What about the early Civ games? Well, I suppose I didn't speak very clearly earlier when I said that one of the games I'd like to review is Civ 2, but I can't, because I can't get it into workable format. So, the earliest Civ game I want to stream at that point would be 5, most likely. Interesting.
I should have a habitation area set up soon. We can replace the reducing atmosphere in this cavern with standard oxy-nitro, and warm things up a bit. Kane's keeping watch, and Weir is looking into other connected areas. We should have a perimeter field up within a few minutes.
Carry on. No kidding, Space Cadet. In fact, one of the mods I got for Civ 5 was the Throne Room mod. The Origin version does not work, no, Loner, unfortunately. Now, Civ 1 I might be able to get working because it's actually old enough to make emulatable. But who the hell wants to review Civ 1?
Reading a lot of background radiation and some wild magnetic fields. It's like the pulsar and the nebula are supercharging the metallic crystal compounds here. The environment's very different from anything we'd consider a habitable planet. Explains why the Herc are so alien. Quite a treasure for a geologist like myself.
I mean, they are germanium-based, so... Yeah, so imagine navigating this when you have Mike Romano's eye issues. Civ 4? So I never played Civ 4. I just sort of skipped over it. Not on purpose, it just came out when I was, you know, not having a functional computer, among other things. So, I just sort of skipped over Civ 4. I played a little bit of Civ 3. I wasn't actually all that impressed with it, to be honest with you. And then Civ 5 came out when I was actually, you know, good to go again. That being said, Civ 4... 5... I forget which one, actually. I think it's Civ 5 has a really awesome song. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Which one had Nimoy?
Everything's in order here. Define, do you still have a lock on us?
Affirmative. If you need transport, there may be a slight delay due to pulsar emissions.
I'm getting something odd on my tricorder.
Weapons ready, people. Stop looking around and have your guns in your hand.
Up there!
Look out! Ah!
I believe you, Mike Romano. Especially if this is the mission I think it is, which I believe it is. It has to be, because I've done home a billion times, so... See, look at how dark it is.
Glad you're still with us. Whatever that was must have left you for dead. I'd get moving in case it comes back to make sure. Looks like you're in a series of tunnels that connect to a larger cavern. Garrick and Bashir are close to your position. They're moving into a large open chamber. Try to make your way to them.
It could also be stupid, Blade Joel.
Be careful. Some of the crystal formations down there are emitting intense amounts of energy. We can't lock onto anyone with transporters, and the others are reporting that directed energy weapons won't work.
This is Bashir. Garrick and I are alive, but we're a little lost.
Okay, I have my weapon ready.
Keep moving. You should head up to another chamber.
Although it won't let me use it for some reason.
The creature's in a passage near your location. Stay sharp.
I got a better one,
Garrick and I are
Hestus.
moving into a very large, oblong chamber.
And here I was, hoping those cozy, cramped little tunnels would make a nice vacation spot.
Remember,
Looks
Garrick
like the door to the next chamber is locked.
has claustrophobia.
Those readings you're getting from that crystal node are interesting. It's generating a localized magnetic field. Manipulating that field could cause a response similar to pushing a button or flicking a switch. I wonder, do you think Herc can sense magnetic fields similar to sharks on Earth?
Stay on target.
Yes, of course. I think you'll find a way to manipulate that magnetic field to open the door. The morphogenic crystals are probably the keys. So look for one nearby that has a similar output to the door node.
Why do you only have... Why do I have like 30 bot slots and Tyrant has 4? I'm asking sincerely, because I don't remember when that switched to being a thing. And yes, built-in music players are always for the win.
The readings I'm getting on that crystal are weak.
Yeah,
It
looks...
probably isn't usable.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the lifetime is adding the bottom ones. I know you get more as you level, which is good, because you're going to want them.
That one's got an odd harmonic. Doesn't seem to match the rest. That's the one you need. Use it to open that door.
Oh, well, if it's not a music player, then it's garbage. I spit upon it. I'm joking, but that's the GTA thing at that point, which is an awesome option. Ah, well. And we're dead. Why did it turn off my flashlight?
You can't fight that thing. Run!
Ironically, I should be able to fight this thing, but the
There's a
game
deep crevice
really
ahead of you.
doesn't
See
want
if
me
you
to.
can get across.
really doesn't want me to. Trust me, I know.
Hazardous energy and anti-gravity ahead. Use your thrusters. The creature's turned back. It must not like anti-gravity.
I can't remember.
Slow and steady, don't get lost. Try to head up when you can.
Garrick and I
So-
have a breathable atmosphere here. Everyone, try and reach our location.
How many?
Williams here. I'm stuck in some kind of tunnel maze. Not sure how to get out.
Ishimura here. My nav system's useless. I'll keep trying to find you all.
How many of you got lost in this maze we're in?
This one looks like technical data. Interesting. None of their starships had weapons until 2,000 years ago. Their first designs were way ahead of most species at that time, though. Huh. How did they go from geniuses to the ravenous eating machines we're dealing with now?
Yeah, this is a three-dimensional, no mini-map maze.
Kane, report. I just lost crewman Kane's vitals. Weir's comm signal is down, but he's still alive. Keep an eye out.
I think Papers, Please is a little bit better about preparing you for real life, as does. Although we all know Papers, Please is the Dark Souls of indie games, so... that makes sense. I was gonna say, I wouldn't recognize Ishimura, because I'm not familiar with Dead Space. Who was the other one? Something Kane, I think? Yeah, scroll up a bit. Just says Dawn. Is that Dawn Kane? Yeah, it looks like Dawn Kane and Ishimura Williams. Oop, too far. They are coming out of the walls, Trihexia.
Bashir and Garrick are just past this chamber.
And we're through.
We're picking up some interesting tech on sensors. Interesting and old. Very old. Most of it predates the Federation by several centuries. Are you reading those energy patterns on the other side of that opening? They're far more intricate than the others we've seen.
It always vaguely amuses me how relatively new most of the Beta Quadrant superpowers are to space travel.
We think there's some kind of ship ahead of you. It shows signs of damage. You might be in some sort of dry dock or repair facility. Interesting. There are large gaps in tech level between each section of the facility. It's as if the Herc learn as they hibernate. They wake up with 1,000 years of advancements at hand and get ready to work.
You can explain why the Dominion was falling behind. That and the whole stagnation thing. Alright, here's a challenge for you. Do the maze I just did without your flashlight being on. I just did, Makimoto.
A pleasure to see you. We'll need all the help we can get if we're to leave this world alive. To that end, the good doctor and I have started to make sense of our surroundings. We seem to be in some sort of Herc command center. From here, we can begin to restore power in critical systems.
Herc technology is driven by electromagnetic manipulation of morphogenic crystals. Doors, life support, everything, even their central computer. If we can find the right crystals, I can bring things back online. We can look for information on Herc biology within their data system. We might even find a cure here. I found a little information. This planet used to be rich in a type of fungus. It thrived in the harshest of environments, even areas high in pulsar radiation. It used to be a staple of the Herc diet until it disappeared from the ecosystem. Without it, the Herc began to suffer from a severe type of malnutrition. It led to a number of neurological disorders, many of which we've seen firsthand. Based on these readings, there should be more data storage units in the tunnels beyond this chamber. They're the ones by the door with the blue glow rods. One more thing. Some parts of the tunnels still have malfunctioning gravity systems. You should be able to navigate through them, but the energy fields in there will nullify your weapons, so be careful.
All my weapons, huh? Even my Tommy gun. That's pretty impressive. And thank you, Flygant. I didn't know, all of those. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, the Herc we've been dealing with are not sentient sapient beings. At least not currently. Hence why, once the one was splashed with Ketracel White, it gained back its ability to think and started asking for help.
Oh, good. You made it. We were about to leave when... No! No!
And she's
What's
dead.
going on? Ishimura's vitals just flatlined.
Yeah, Lore Shock, the two characters we've never heard of before, or since, just died. Oh my god. So this section can kind of suck, depending on how we do here.
That covers the first peaceful meeting between the Herc and the Founders over 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding, Space Cadet. Like, they didn't die out like you'd think would happen with malnutrition. They just went completely insane. Dulcie, no! Live, Dulcie! No, run! No, Spirit!
You're a sight for sore eyes. Let's get out of here before...
William!
Williams is very dead. I mean, honestly, it's hard to be actually terrified by this because it's just... It's a joke at this point. It's like being terrified by the movie Airplane. You know?
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
The Herc tried to synthesize the enzyme they needed for cognition, but failed. Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Yeah? Dead. Yeah, it doesn't like anti-gravity, so... This is the safe zone. As with most movie monsters, there's got to be a safe zone, right? Oh, I should activate this. Let's see what I've done. Hello. Evil creature of doom. There's a pile of bones in there. Are those recent? Thank you, Nova Knight. Always appreciate those bits. Let me go jot that down really quick. And I've put that towards WoW, BC, and Raw. Which is hopefully something we'll do next year. Hopefully. No promises, though. So, real talk. The actual maze doesn't really bother me, and in fact, I have no real problems navigating it. This place I've gotten lost in more and for longer than the actual maze. Now you're probably thinking, but why, Laura? Well, because the actual maze is a maze. This place is a bunch of samey corridors.
That's Kane's helmet. I have a feeling we won't find the rest of him.
One of your officers has arrived here.
And thank
One
you,
of your
Kehorse.
officers has arrived here.
Always appreciate those subs. Thank you. I hope you enjoy replaying or continuing to play STO. Lord knows I do. You want to hear something funny? 100% of the times I've streamed this game, I've had at least one person pick up the game as a result of me streaming it. I'm not really saying anything with that, I just find that funny. Oh, and I've put that towards Riftbreaker. Okay, so this is... Yep, okay. At least 3 people who have told me to this particular run-through. Okay, so this is its area. Yep, alright. So this... Here we go. Damn. Still the wrong area. I mean, I said it before. This game, regardless of its quality, as I think is being shown over here, scratches an itch that literally nothing else does. Okay, so this one's purple. I don't remember if we've been up purple, so we're gonna accidentally fall out of the purple thing there. There we go. Break our legs. Very important. Hi, Pika. Good morning. Nope. Purple was the new one.
My god. The enzyme the Herc need is a precursor to Ketracel.
Dun dun dun! I mean, we all saw that coming. That's honestly pretty obvious. No. Game over, man. Game over. Yeah, it's Ketracel Mauve.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
And yeah, this is one of those games that I would replay portions of it for fun. And I suppose I have, since I keep streaming the damn thing. Only portions of it. I'm probably literally never going to replay most of this early stuff. Might replay the Romulan Mysteries a few times. And then, like, Solanae and onwards, you know? The older stuff, the Klingon Civil War, yeah. I'm right.
One of your officers has arrived here.
Yeah, they're with me, Garrick.
Nicely done. We should be able to translate Herc data files and run a detailed analysis of them at a greatly accelerated rate now. I have a good friend in Starfleet Engineering that'd love to spend some time with this technology. The Herc have made some remarkable advances in their time.
Unfortunately, we didn't get Colomini because I don't know why.
Ah, the first results are in. Excellent. I have access to a few critical systems, including gravity and power generation, bringing them online now. That should make things go a little smoother. I'm getting some historical records now. Give me a moment to process it. Well, this is not good. It's a record of the fall of the Herc civilization at the hands of the Dominion. For some reason, the Dominion removed the fungus from the ecosystem during the Herc hibernation cycle. Military conquest, most likely. This is what drove the Herc to madness.
There's just so many lore shocks this episode.
It appears we have some uninvited guests.
You're a long way from Zenketh, Admiral.
Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure?
So...
Traveling incognito?
One of her many covert identities, I suspect.
This expedition of yours has gone on long enough.
Touched a nerve, have we?
You found a secret I've kept for millennia. Something I've kept from Odo and the Great Link.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And your role in it.
I needed soldiers to realize my dream of dominion. Enforcers willing to obey without question. Physically, the Herc were perfect candidates. But their peaceful, free-thinking nature was an obstacle. In studying the Herc biology, I found the key to their loyalty.
The Ketracel precursor.
Yes, I extracted it from their ecosystem. They had no choice. Obey or die.
I take it things didn't go according to plan.
No, they became savage, incoherent, volatile. With each cycle, the swarm grew larger, wilder. My ability to control them diminished. All I could do was point them in the direction of my enemies. I would let them rampage and await their eventual hibernation.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
They were a failure, but they provided a gift. Ketracel, the gift that led to a more successful endeavor. The Jem'Hadar.
I think I've heard enough. I knew you were involved in this somehow. You built an empire on slavery, and now it's all falling apart. When the Alliance learns about this...
But they won't. None of you are leaving this world alive.
You would kill another founder?
There were other founders who knew the truth once, like you. They did not want a dominion built on the backs of slaves. They tried to depose me, to expose the truth to the Link. They failed, and paid for their lack of vision.
All of you against the wall.
Odo, this is getting out of hand.
Stop this now!
No, Odo. This is bigger than you. Bigger than us. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
What now?
You've forced my hand. This is a modification of your own Herc lure. As we speak, every Herc in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And you're calling them here? To their homeworld?
On the contrary, madam. I'm calling them to the Founder homeworld. Your chickens, as the humans say, are coming home to roost.
Insanity! We will...
So, I actually love that scene, to be completely honest with you for a second. It's not as good as the previous amazing scene in this, but unlike some people, I actually really like that particular plot twist. In fact, I like it so much that it's being repurposed for the Trek rewrite. I'm pretty sure it was the scream. Sonic. Sound waves, vibration. Most of the Herc technology operates at that level, so... Guess I know I have 15 minutes. And yeah, that's, for all intents and purposes, the death of the Dominion. Right there. At least the Dominion as we knew it. The fact that she has actually murdered...
Now that we have restored operations here, our ships will be able to lock onto us with transporters. I suggest we take advantage of this while we can.
The fact that she murdered other founders who found out about this, the fact that she's been keeping this from the Link, which we know is possible. It's something we've seen happen several times, even in the show, never mind in the game. It would also help to explain why she's usually the one who leaves the Link to go do things. Because she's the one who does the dirty work, out where she doesn't have to bother hiding it from anybody.
You did this?
No, I didn't.
You killed a god?
Shut up.
My god? My beautiful founder. Gone forever. I loved her so. And now you'll pay the price. Guards!
Really, dude?
Enough, Weyoun. All of you stand down.
No! You betrayed her! And the Dominion! I will carry out her final order!
That founder is no more, Weyoun. This founder has given you an order, and you will obey.
No! He is no founder! She was a founder! He is a traitor! Guards! Shoot to kill! All of them!
And the
Belay
Jem'Hadar
that order.
are kind of... Oh?
We do not serve you, Vorta. Where this founder leads, we will follow.
Thank you, my friend.
Fine. Then I'll do it myself.
Take Weyoun into custody and return to your ship. We have business at the home world to attend to.
I mean, you notice the Jem'Hadar were kind of freaking the hell out there. But yeah, in case you missed amongst the other series of bombshells there, did you catch the fact that the Admiral, the Zenkethi Admiral, who was insistent upon genociding everything and was operating as a tyrant and all that, was just the female founder?
Was it part of your plan to draw every Herc in the sector to this system, Garrick? Because if it was, it worked with flying colors. We need to get out of here and fast. Our only hope is to punch a hole through the swarm so we can go to warp.
That's also why they had the Admiral being a priority extraction target, and why the Admiral left without our assistance.
Try to hold them off. I'll see if I can arrange a distraction.
Now, here's my thought on that. This is just presumption and conjecture. But I think that the Autarch was already leaning towards this.
Abandoned ship! Containment breach! We've lost...
And so the female founder just stepped in and said, "Yes, Autarch, we will do as you ask." There probably was an admiral. And that admiral was replaced by her, who just started, licking boots and following through on the Autarch's will. And, well, there you go. It's not even like some big plan. That's the thing I love most about it. It's just standard operating procedure for the Founders to regularly infiltrate other powers. Something that people tend to forget, I think. There's a lot of Herc here. I have the wrong shields on. You see, they met a Ferengi, Chief Wintow. Yeah, we don't need to be everywhere. You do most of the work for us. We just need 1 or 2 people here or there. Need to hurry this up. I've only got 10 minutes before the servers come down. I was pretty sure we could finish this one mission before the maintenance. And I think I'm right. It's starting to become a bit of a race. This is a long mission. I mean, most of them are at this point. Post-Solanae, most of the missions are, you know, the length of an episode. I think you're right, Warpcore. Alright, I've got an idea. I'm going to summon some swarmers to it. The maintenance is however long it is until they're done with it. I have a way of keeping track of it, and I imagine some viewers will pop in and tell me as well. Don't worry, I have something planned for the maintenance. Something extremely evil. Now, I know Mike Romano's going to hate me for this, but I actually like this mission quite a bit. It's absolutely getting a bare minimum of 2 positives a story. Possibly 3. The mission in general has good atmosphere. That's point 1.
They're breaking off.
The big reveal and showcasing of what the Founder was up to.
They've received the signal. They're heading for the Founder homeworld.
And the low-key showcasing of like the foreshadowing, the backpack, you know. That's point number 2 as well. Never a warp core. Never. And point number 3 is the fact that they just killed off the Founder. And the revelations there too.
For the Founder homeworld. It will take them some time to reach it, even at maximum warp. We should make the most of that time and bring an end to this madness. The information that the good doctor found should do just that. For now, let's return to our respective fleets and prepare for the next and hopefully final steps of this journey.
Thanks to Garrick, my homeworld is under siege. I realize there's not a lot of love lost to the Founders these days. But if the center of the Dominion falls to the Herc, the rest of the galaxy will soon follow suit. If you're willing to stand with us one last time, assemble your forces and rendezvous with my fleet in the Gamma Quadrant. I hope to see you there before it's too late for all of us.
I like how Odo doesn't command or order or anything. He just kind of says, if you're willing, please. And that's appropriate, because... Whew. And yeah...
There's a certain poetic symmetry at play here. The Dominion are about to receive their comeuppance from one of the many species they've abused. Regrettably, we Cardassians have some experience in such matters. Of course, our work is just beginning. We need to formulate a cure for the Herc before they devastate every system in the quadrant. Hopefully, we can achieve this lofty goal before they make a meal of the Dominion. And again, science is often a lengthy, perilous process. I'm certainly glad to put Havas Kul behind me. Small, dark passages are not a passion of mine.
Oh no, the Dominion still has plenty of fleets out there. Odo's forces are down to 1 fleet, but the Dominion still has plenty. Something the female Founder already showed off earlier to now. Thank you, Jesse's Mask. Always appreciate. I'll go ahead and put that towards Yakuza Like a Dragon. So yeah, let's part and parcel some positives, shall we? If I can find my document, here we go. So, pluses, plural, to story. What's the name of that quest? I never think of the name of quests. God. Tenebris Torque. How do you pronounce it? Torquent? Sorry, I'm going to get some music going. I have to make a phone call with my dentist office really quick. They may be able to get me in today for the actual issue I need. You know, the tooth. So, let me get some music going for you. Give me one moment, please. That was easy. Why can't it always be like that? I have an appointment at 1 today. Now, this is the August 9th appointment. So, if you've been paying attention to the dental escapade so far, that means I have probably about a 1 in 2 chance of actually getting the tooth pulled today, which would be really nice. But even if I don't, at least I could get an appointment for getting the tooth pulled, because this is supposed to be the second to last of that particular arc. You know how they are. Or maybe you don't, Warp Core. Medical people like to be like, all right, so let's look at your extremely infected, actually a danger to your health, could possibly kill you, tooth, okay. Let's see, all right. Yeah, nope, it looks infected. All right, so let's schedule getting rid of that thing. Okay, for real, though. As much as I snark, there's a reason medical places do this. And it's a really simple thing. It's because they want... There's actually 2 reasons. First, they want to charge you as much as possible. But second is because they want to They want to get their own reading on things to determine their own analysis of what needs to be done. To explain that a little bit, let's say that I go to Dentist A. And Dentist A says, this tooth needs pulled. Now let's say I go to Dentist B to get the tooth pulled, which is what I'm doing, by the way. This is not the original office I went to. I got a referral to the second place, okay? So I go to the second place, and let's say they go in, and the specific operation that Dentist A suggested is not the operation Dentist B agrees with. So Dentist B isn't going to do that. Dentist B wants to look at it themselves, get their own vibe on it, and then decide. Now, they may agree, and if they agree, and I do have the x-rays already, so I can just take those with me, they'll be able to look at it and be like, aha, you know. But this way, they're not locked into an operation they don't agree with, they're protected legally, and they're not doing something that they can't charge me for. There you go. So there's the 3 spokes of that. And Alex is just dumping money on my face for some reason. You know, the irony is that's about going to cover today's visit right there. Because no matter what, even if I don't get the tooth pulled, simply seeing a doctor costs money, right? That's how that works. So, going in today will cost me, I think it's like 140 something. Now, if they pull the tooth, that's going to be another couple hundred on top of that. But that's okay, because that's exactly what I want to happen. Get this thing out. I literally woke up this morning I don't want to say depressed because people misuse that word, or I don't want to misuse that word more accurately. I woke up this morning discouraged. Let's go with that. Because I was just thinking to myself, yeah, I've got another 2 weeks minimum of this because my jaw hurts. Just my jaw hurts as a result of this. Those of you on YouTube are probably wondering why I haven't chopped off the VOD yet. So, let's scroll down a little bit here. Let's update the HUD, which is what I'm waiting on here. Yep, it's time to replay Shattered Universe. The whole game right here, front to back. No, I'm just updating the HUD. I also need to do something else here. There we go. And that's up to date. Now let's get the server up status thing going and chop off the local recording.